point. This is how we get the water. I try not to get run over by my dogs. Blessed love, right on. So, welcome to my desert utopia skate park here. We're about to go take the dogs and go turn on the Acequia, which is an ancient watering system that has been existent here for hundreds of years that people maintain collectively. So we're gonna go turn the water on the food forest and fill it up. All right, so the acequia, the word acequia is a Arabic word that's borrowed and transferred through the Moors and the Spanish colonialists in the area. So this series of irrigation dishes is all fed on gravity, but they spread it out through the whole valley for agriculture, mostly to grow fruit trees and corn and beans and squash and chili and sort of the Southwest staples. You can see it's kind of like a bosque here. It's very rich. We even sometimes wildcraft mushrooms here and things from this place, like the medicine that's in the willow that is pain relieving. But whatever the case, this system is such that our place is actually uphill. And so we have to raise the level of the water to get it to push uphill. So that's done through this series of what they call presa, a presa or what's the other word for it? I have another word for it. I'm forgetting right now. Spanish word. But so it's pretty simple. Just gonna put the wood in here. And I see that my neighbor's got a little bit. I'm gonna have to go shut his. Oh yeah. I brought it over already. So we got one there. We got another. And I'm gonna take this little bit of pond liner and just do what I can to get as much of it as possible by getting it kind of plugged up like that. Some's gonna get through, but get as much as we can. We have some rocks on here. Dogs love it. So now this will fill up and start going that way. So we'll go catch it now on the other end. It'll take it a little bit of time. So here we are now. The water has finally made it over to our property. It took like an hour or so. It was a bit of time because the water level is low right now. It's a time of year where the rains have just kind of started, and so the acequia has been coming again because we usually this just runs off snow melt and rainwater. So it's just capturing from the larger landscape and coming through here. So it's here now, and we're gonna run you through the system and show you what it's about. But first I gotta clear this out. Gotta make sure everything's running smoothly. So this is part of the thing, and all this nutrient coming through from my neighbor's horses and cows is gonna help feed the system a bit. Okay, so here we are now at the first infiltration pond on the property. I have 5 of these, and I devised or designed a food forest system here, utilizing a lot of perennial plants, fruit trees, nut trees, nitrogen fixers at all levels to feed the thing. And so this is a perennial no-till garden. So this infiltration feature is going to cause a water lens that goes underground with the slope of the ground, and will feed all the fruit trees and everything down, downhill. So this pear that is just going off right now is going to get a real good deep water from this, as is some of the rest of the garden. So you want to come see. So you can see the pears here, and the water's running by, so it's right at its foot also. And I come in here, and there's two sides. Since the water's low, I'm going to have to water one side and then the other, but oftentimes the water is flowing enough that we can water the entire garden all at once. So here we have our second infiltration pond. There's wild asparagus growing up in it, and then we have nitrogen fixing plants like sea buckthorn that are also very good, food and medicinal herb, very high in vitamin C and oils that are beneficial for your skin. So we can make salves and stuff and jams from these, and they're also creating soil. So it's designed so that it's layered like a forest. So there's an overstory layer in the back of locust and pecan and almond. And then under that, there's peaches and apples and uh, cherries and jujube, date. We'll walk through and look at some of the plants real quick. Under that, there's the understory plants, and that's what these are some currants, and we have various varieties of currants. So this is a black currant. Interestingly, it's kind of a mishmash of two currants, a golden currant and a black currant, all off the same bush. And these are very vitamin C rich. You can see under that we have an herbaceous layer. So we have here some sage, culinary sage. We have some lettuce, some lavender, and we have some lemon balm. And we did plant some lettuces over here, but it looks like maybe the roly-poly's got the best of those. So we'll see. Let's see a little bit more of this here. Here we have a corn and beans, sort of three sisters garden. I found out through trial and error that this fungal environment that I'm trying to create for a food forest isn't as beneficial for crops like corn that are bacterial in nature. So corn, amaranth, things like that I'll be growing in these beds. But the rest of this is fungal, so there's wood path throughout. The swales here capture the water and run it through, and it just winds back and forth through these swales, and that way it deeply waters and penetrates, once again soaking in and on that water, that lens going underground, hitting everything downhill. There's also wood buried in these swales, and that's a method called hugelkultur. So that just feeds all these trees and woody plants good wood lignins. It makes a sponge to absorb and also to be a host for fungi. So, and then in between, we allow for all the wild edibles, and medicinal herb plants that are just volunteering naturally. But you can see the density here. We have elderberry and basil and currant, and there's squashes growing under that, and yarrow, donut peach, and nettles, all on this one swale. So that you're getting that biodiversity and perennial plants that come back year after year and just get larger and larger, and the thing becomes a self-organizing system to a large part. So that's pretty much my garden. Thanks for joining. Hope you got something from this. Have a beautiful day.